Hey Scorpio, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for September 24th, 2024. This is for Scorpio. Last shuffle for Scorpio. Let's see what's going on. So Scorpio, we have travel. We have fragmented energy. Your heart is split into many different places here. And this looks like you are, whatever this is, it's like you've come to some point where you're ready to leave the problems in the past. You may be in this space now where you're like, listen, I get this is how we got to this point. I get this is how we, yeah, there's something about you saying, I forgive everything for the greater good of everybody around me. I'm forgiving. But the issue is, it's like your emotions may garble your speech, right? It may be the emotions that you feel that you have been essentially, especially the feelings of like abandonment or the feelings of like of loss. You Yeah, they're showing you want to leave that behind. So there's a lot of feelings that you may have like overlooked or put to the side. You know, when you're dealing with a person and they're hurting you and they're disappointing you and they're letting you down, a lot of you have been able to put those feelings aside to forgive them or to keep things keep things stable. You know, like for you to continue to function, you may have been putting your feelings to the side, being very forgiving, being very loving. Still, and I'm seeing like a little bit of an emotional instability. Not to say that you're unstable, but that sometimes we forgive a little too quickly. And so I'm seeing not necessarily that you forgave someone too quickly per se, but not all the way. You didn't forgive them all the way. And so there would still be some lingering feelings that you may have pushed to the side or disconnected from, disassociated from. Like, I'm not even allowing myself to feel the abandonment. I'm just glad they're back. Right. And I'm still sad and I'm trying to work through that, but I'm also forgiving them and I'm also disconnected from them, but I'm also connected and I'm also, it's like all over the place. And so Queen of Cups, Empress, Four of Cups, Hierophant with travel would tell me that you have a certain way that you're dealing with a person, or there's a certain way that you're dealing with the situation. It also says with the with all this too, that you may be struggling with communicating how disappointed you are. It's hard to express how badly someone hurt you. It's difficult because on one hand you want to forgive and then disassociate, and it didn't happen to me. If I'm somebody else, it never happened to me. Oh my gosh, that reminds me of this song. Robert Glasper, right? A jazz artist, amazing jazz artist, um, made a song, and he collaborates with other artists. But this song is I think it's called Somebody Else, and the lyrics are like, if it happened to somebody else, it never happened to me, or if I'm somebody else, it never happened to me. And so man, my sister sent me that song when I was going through some stuff, and I was like, wow, that's actually um, interesting, because it's a song about disassociating with the situation and trying to heal from something that was so painful it fragments you. And so there's something here about that. New supportive connections here at the Five of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Someone has gone through the same thing you've gone through. They have wished to be someone else, and it almost seems as though they have ultimately succeeded in establishing themselves, or they're close to getting to a place where you may want to be. There's something about a person that has gone through the same stuff you've gone through, and they've moved through it a little bit further than you have, and they're more so showing an air of disappointment, that, or maybe highlighting for you why you're so upset, is that why was anyone able to get that close to where they could hurt you in that way, and that you may have wanted, you wanted something different, and although your wants were genuine and divinely orchestrated, you still may be sad about how you may have been codependent on them delivering the goods, and it affected your emotions. And so there's something about a person saying, I understand how you feel, because that was my issue, was that I actually let someone get that close, to where they could affect me in that way. And so, and I forgave and forgave and forgave, and not really looking at the fact that I wasn't truly happy in a situation. And for some of you, you may finally get to that point where you can forgive yourself rather than forgiving other people, and choosing happiness for yourself. Um, Doing something for the sake of your own happiness instead of doing things for the sake of the other person's. Yeah, Knight of Wands is the death. Knight of Wands in death with family. Oh wow. You may feel like there's a blockage between you and your family, especially as it pertains to children. There's a blockage. There's something where it's like um, the way that they're communicating, or there's something about the way that they're coming towards you, that how they act around other people and how they act around you is different. You may feel like they've changed the way they conduct things, like they act around you. And you don't know if it's because you've changed. Is there something about, I'm not sure why everyone's acting this way. And you're very gracious and forgiving of things. You want things to be different, and I can say this, that they're showing that you can manifest the life that you would really desire, or the relationships you'd rather have with people. You've got to really truly work through the pain that you've gone through. You've got to work through the disappointment, and place it, or communicate with those that have um, hurt you, rather than just spewing it or speaking in general, with, like, kind of like talking, like someone does something to you, and we're telling other people what we want to tell the other person, what we want to tell that person, and they're like, you have to direct it where it belongs, right? Because you may find that your family is kind of like expecting you to be moody, or changeable, like you're changing a lot, and so they may be in and out. And I'm seeing the way they communicate with you or act with you is different, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that they feel like you're very moody, and that angry also, in some way. So it's very important to work through whatever has been bothering you, so that you can be more open, because I see so much disappointment and sadness here, and it's causing you to communicate in a very confusing way, and it is affecting your relationships. It's important to focus on what you want, and choosing happiness for yourself, and not to feel guilty about making decisions that benefit you. There's a lot of guilt of, like, I'm doing something and it's actually benefiting me, and um, feeling like you're disconnecting from others because you're focusing on yourself is not accurate. It's like, if you choose yourself and then people fall to the wayside, then they weren't choosing you either. I don't know how else to put that. I hope I'm making sense, because it's like all over the place. Um, you could be dealing with a Taurus. You have Libra and another Scorpio. We also have Cancer, Pisces, um, Gemini, Aquarius rather, and Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. The only signs I don't see here are Capricorn and Virgo. So you could primarily be dealing with those two signs. Otherwise, you could be a Libra, Scorpio cusp, or a Scorpio, Sagittarius cusp. We have Aquarius, Pisces cusp, Pisces, Aries cusp, Aries, Taurus cusp, Taurus, Gemini cusp. You could be dealing with Gemini, Cancer cusp, Cancer, Leo cusp. And if you're not dealing with those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.